जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदना जानरंजना यशोदानंदना जजनंदना यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदना व्रजजानरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रजजानरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रजजानरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय गोपी जन गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदना जानरंजना यशोदानंदना जनरंजना यशोदानंदना जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे Jai Vishwad Brahman Suprivacharya Sutra Sat His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vipri Founder Acharya His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ राधा कुंशांकुर गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, द्वारका धाम की जय, रामेश्वर बद्रीनाथ धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय, गंगामय जमुनामय की जय, वृंददेव तुलसी महारानी की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जय, श्री श्री निताय गौर सुंदर भगवान की जय, Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution की जय, Srila Prabhupada Food for Life Program की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is canto number 6, chapter number 7, and the verse number is 13. So all the devotees should come in time for the Bhagavatam class. We may have a stroll here and there, but we should try to be in the class in the right time. So the title of this chapter is Indra Offends Brahaspati. And this is the 7th chapter of the canto number 6. A very, very important message and a very, very important teaching for an aspiring devotee who is trying to become a devotee in his life. Ya Parameshtam Dishanam, Ya Parameshtam Dishanam, Adhitishtana Kanchana, Adhitishtana Kanchana, Pratyustishtha iti bhruyu, Pratyutishtha iti bhruyu, Dharmam tina param vidu, Dharmam tina param vidu. Ya Parameshtam Dishanam, Adhisthana Kanchana, Pratyutishtati Bhruyu, Dharmam tina param vidu, Dharmam tena param vidhu. Ya Parameshtyam Dishana, Adhisthana Kanchana, Pratyutishtediti Bhruyu, Dharmam tina param vidu.
Ya Parameshtam Dishanam, Adhitishtana Kanchana, Pratyutishteti Bhuyo,
Dharmam tena param vidu. या पारमेष्टम दिशानाम
तिष्ठन्न कंचन
आदितिष्ठान कंचना प्रत्युत्तिष्ठ इति भ्रूयोर धर्मं तेना परम विदु या परमेष्टाम दिशानाम अधितिष्ठान कंचना प्रत्युत्तिष्ठ इति ब्रूयोर धर्मं तेना परम विदु Word-to-word translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. Anyone who Parameshtyam royal, Dishanam throne, Adhishtan sitting on, Na not, Kanchana anyone, Pratyuttishta should rise before, Iti thus, Bruyo those who say, Dharmam the codes of religion, they, Na not, Param higher, Vidhu no. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If a person says, one who is situated on the exalted throne of a king should not stand up to show respect to another king or a Brahmana, it is to be understood that he does not know the superior religious principles. Kindly repeat after me. If a person says, one who is situated on the exalted throne of a king should not stand up to show respect to another king or a Brahmana, it is to be understood that he does not know the superior religious principles. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in this regard that when a president or a king is sitting on his throne, he does not need to show respect to everyone who comes within his assembly, but he must show respect to the superiors like his spiritual master, Brahmanas, and the Vaishnavas. These are many examples of how he should act. When Lord Krishna was sitting on his throne and Narada fortunately entered his assembly, even Lord Krishna immediately stood up with his officers and ministers to offer respectful obeisances to Narada. Narada knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Krishna knew that Narada was his devotee. But although Krishna is the Supreme Lord and Narada is the Lord's devotee, the Lord observed the religious etiquette. Since Narada was a brahmachari, a brahmana, and an exalted devotee, even Krishna, while acting as a king, offered his respectful obeisances unto Narada. Such is the conduct visible in the Vedic civilization. A civilization in which the people do not know how the representative of Narada and Krishna should be respected, how society should be formed, and how one should advance in Krishna consciousness. A society concerned only with manufacturing new cars, new skyscrapers, even every year, and then breaking them to pieces and making them new ones, may be technologically advanced, but it is not a human civilization. A human civilization, it is advanced when its people follow the Chaturvarnam system, the system of 4 orders of life. There must be an ideal first-class men to act as advisors, second-class men to act as administrators, third-class men to produce food and protect cows, and fourth-class men who obey the 3 higher classes of society. One who does not follow the standard system of society should be considered a 5th-class man. A society without Vedic laws and regulations will not be very helpful to humanity, as stated in this verse, Dharmam tena param vidu. Such a society does not know the aim of life and the highest principle of religion. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yenai Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyati Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauraduse Namah. Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmahitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanti Radha Kanti Namostute. Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpadrubhyasya kripa sindhubheva patithanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Thank you very much, all the devotees, and especially Prithvi Prabhu and His Holiness Amevilas Swami Maharaj, and all the assembly of the Vaishnavas who are here. Especially, I would like to really thank Prithvi Prabhu for coming to Kharghar and delivering many lectures to all of you. And while you are hearing these wonderful lectures, you all have to focus on one thing, that Prithu Prabhu is one of the associates of Srila Prabhupada, and who inherited lots of knowledge and association of Srila Prabhupada. So many people took association of Prabhupada, many disciples took association, but very less carry out the true legacy of following Srila Prabhupada in true sense. And I remember I have a great association with Prithu Prabhu, who had come to India many years back, and had many brahmacharis along with him, and they used to preach, go to in all the India in a van. And Prithu Prabhu stayed also in Vrindavan in his ashram many years, and so on and so forth. And we see also that how he is talking about Krishna consciousness and spreading Krishna consciousness. Simultaneously, we also have to understand, we all have to get old also. I don't think that you can remain what you are the same all the time. And Krishna has given you the opportunity to engage in his service in Srila Prabhupada's abode, ISKCON. So we must be cautious and careful. While you are executing your devotional service, we must know our constitutional position. We must know where from we have come, how we have been helped, and how we can help others to progress on the path of spiritual life. If these things are not consciously engraved on our manas pat, we will not be advancing in our spiritual life. Young age is very frivolous. Young age can become an impediment in your devotional service if you are not consciously executing devotional service under the bona fide spiritual master. And if you execute lethargy, shirking from the responsibilities empowered upon by you, and trying to sneak in and become only the bookworms, I don't think that you can make a radical difference in your existence. Srila Prabhupada had thousands and thousands of disciples, and everybody was not in tune with Prabhupada at the time. But those who were in tune with Prabhupada, they carried the legacy forward. And those who were objecting, those who were shirking from taking the responsibility or executing devotional service as per the instructions of Prabhupada, the time and the situations have shown them the exit, the door from ISKCON. And we are not exceptionals. We are not exceptionals. There's so many disciples came, and sometimes they would go contrary to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, being very compassionate, he used to ignore their faults. And even a disciple who could make New Vrindavan with many devotees, he had to end up in a jail because of his offenses, because of his leniency, because of his arrogance. And the time came that he wanted to die. वो सिंपली मरना चाहते थे. इतनी ग्लोरी प्राप्त करने के बाद भी जिन्होंने प्रभुपाद जी के लिए गोल्डन मंदिर बना दिया, But he did a big damage to ISKCON. And you must know, all the young people, if you are not conscious of these things, if you will not learn from these examples, you will not be able to advance in spiritual life. Everything is not rosy. And so does this temple is also not rosy place. There is a sacrifice behind this whole temple by great devotees who are among you. I must thank, Samved, I must thank Sita Mohan Das. I must thank, many other devotees. Dhananjaya Das, Krishna Madhav Das, and even we can learn from a wonderful example of our Swadhin, who is executing devotional service very sincerely from morning till evening. He may not be educated, he may not be anything, but he is completely absorbed since morning until evening. He is completely absorbed. What is the use of that certificate of yours, whether you are from IIT or whether you are from other places, if you're not completely tuned in devotional service? Devotional service, the set standard by Srila Prabhupada said, at least 8 to 10 hours active service. I can hibernate in one Himalayan hillock and then study all the lages, and then whole life I will be in the hillock, and then I will come back, I have become a big saintly person. But Prabhupada said, if you want to keep yourself humble, keep on doing devotional service. Clean the temple, clean the utensils, chant the holy name, read the Bhagavatam, associate with the devotees, do cooking, do serving, do anything. Keep this lump of meat always active. Tomorrow you're going to be old. It takes 10 minutes, Prithu Prabhu, to walk from that ashram to this place. And we are all going to undergo this stage if we still live. And we don't know whether we'll live up to his age. He's what, 75? We don't know whether we are going to live. So what is advantageous for us is that we are young. They gave the youth to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada established the movement all over the globe. Their energy, their Shakti, Prabhupada's blessings, Prabhupada's knowledge could empower and make people enlightened in the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. That is what we have to do. Otherwise, we know we have undergone chapter number 3, canto number 3, chapter number 31 in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We know what is our existence. If we don't remember that, we are in a balloon and encased in the stomach of our mother. We are in a balloon, see? We have come out of that balloon. We're completely encaged. Tasmad aham vigate vikalva udharisa atmanam asu tasma subha atmanao bhuyo yatha vyasanam etad anekarandram mame bhavishyat upasidita vishnupada. Even though we are put into the womb because of our aversions, because of our aversions, We have been put in the womb of a mother. But the intelligent person, what is he doing? Will deliver ourselves from a proper intelligence. बुद्धि का सदुपयोग करते हुए हम इन परिस्थितियों से पृथक हो जाएंगे और without wasting any more lifetime, any time, इस मनुष्य जोनी में समय का दुरुपयोग न करते हुए हम भगवत भक्ति के सभी कार्यों को निपुणता से निभाने का अनुष्ठान करें. And we'll try our best to take the shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna and Guru. We are all very fortunate. We are serving Srila Prabhupada. We have got a great lineage. We have got a great disciplic succession. And somehow or the other, we have been put in the situation that we are in the association of the devotees. And in the association of the devotees, if we don't progress on the path of spiritual life, if we shirk from the responsibility, how can we get purified? We know where from we have come. We were in the womb of our mother. We were in the balloon. Doctor came and cut that whole balloon. And then mistress came. She cut the umbilical cord. And then we started crying. We prayed in the womb of a mother. Oh my Lord, please take me out of this hell out. I promise you that I will go do my devotional service. And when you have come out of the fetus of your mother, the more you get up, grow and grow and grow, you feel that you become possessor of your parents, possessor of your knowledge, possessor of your, business, possessor of your job, possessor of your intelligence, and you become puffed up. We are not talking about the materialistic who are very much puffed up because of the opulence, because of their wealth and so many things. We're talking about the devotees who have to be very humble, who have to grow as a Vaishnava and see that they become progressive in the path of spiritual life. There can be many shortfalls, and there are many shortfalls in us. We are kami, krodhis, lusty, desirous. But we have to overcome these impediments in our spiritual life if we want to have a great attention of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only Supreme Lord gets attracted to the devotion and the devotee perfectly. And when we are perfectly executing our devotional service very, very nicely, then we have to cultivate the Vaishnava etiquette. And from this chapter, we come to know up to the Indra, you can lose your etiquette. Who are we? We are losing etiquette every moment. When somebody tramples on my feet, I cry, I yell, I blast. But here we see Indra. He is puffed up because of his opulence. And so much andhakar on our eyes, so much of ignorance, full of ignorance we are not grateful to Prabhupada who has given us such a wonderful society. We are not grateful to our spiritual master who has initiated us. We are not grateful to Vaishnavas who are nurturing us from morning till evening by Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha is nurturing you. Krishna Katha is making you wonderful devotee. This is something very, very powerful. This is something very grateful. And we have to be thankful to Prabhupada and spiritual master. Even Indra, When he is in his opulence, we see Brihaspati, his spiritual master, is entering the arena and he is not able to get up from his throne. Because there are all apsara, there are all music, there are this, there is so opulent, so much opulent, all the demigods saying Vava, all the apsaras dancing, all that. And he is so puffed up with an environment. When you get puffed up, when you get influenced by an environment from your childhood, you get puffed up. I'm the son of such and such person. I have done the IIT from such and such Kanpur, Mumbai. I am this, I am that. And this opulence is taking us away from Krishna. It is not giving you Krishna consciousness. My dear brothers and sisters, you all have to understand, once upon a time, when India was ruled by the kings, we're talking about 1,000 years back, the kings were having advisors. We have heard about Chanakya. We have heard so many kings. They had courtiers who used to advise, and king used to respect him. But that whole, in due course of time, everything vanished. Mughals came, Britishers came, and you could see that in the empire of Mughals there was still some decency. But when the Britishers came, that whole decency went completely and there was nobody respected. Everybody was flogged because they were not following Ji Huzur, Ji Huzur, Ji Huzur. Even Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, everybody had to do yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And in the span of time of 300 years, what happened? The whole empire completely got vanished from this place. Because when you don't have any respect for the Brahmanas, when you have no respect for the Vaishnavas, when you have no respect for the saintly people, even the big kingdoms like the British can be eradicated, uprooted, and thrown in the sea for the rest of their life. Now, while we are executing our devotional service, we have to be very conscious that we should not become like Britishers. We should not become Mughalers. We should not become other people. We become Vaishnavas. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisuna amani namani dena kirtaniya sadahari. Where is this lusty bhav of yours coming from? You are arrogant. You are trying to scold somebody. Who are you? You may be from a Timbuktu, but you are a sadhaka bhakta who is wanting to embrace the lotus feet of Guru, and who has embraced the lotus feet of a Guru and Krishna, and because of embracing, you have some qualification. And that qualification can get completely vanished if you just blast a Vaishnava, if you are trying to tiraskar, if you are showing your red eyes. Your bhakti will finish. Nothing is going to happen to that person whom you are showing eyes. Indra is completely lost the opportunity of surrendering, respecting Brihaspati, his spiritual master, in the assembly of a Vaishnava. Individually you may say Hare Krishna, but you have to show the etiquette in the assembly of Vaishnava. That is called real etiquette. So Indra, even up to the Indra, he lost the etiquette of respecting a spiritual master. And with the result, what happened? He couldn't get up. So Srila Prabhupada is teaching us Shikshamrita. In that he is giving the etiquette of DT department. He is giving etiquette to a temple commander. He's giving etiquette to a department head. He's telling you to the etiquette of what is the vice president, what is president, what is GBC, what is secretary, overall, what is sannyasi, how to take care of the sannyasis. All these etiquettes are coming from the Srila Prabhupada's Shiksha Patrika for us. And we have to be always guarding this. That's how we'll be able to progress in our spiritual life. So that's why it is said in the canto number 4, we see Narada's. Narada is instructing Prachinibaris. And what is he saying? Kwachit puman, kwachit na sitri, kwachinno bhayam andadhi, deva manushyastragva, yatha karma guna bhava. Under the quality of your karma, my dear brothers, under the quality of your karma, sometimes you have taken a birth in an ant, sometimes you have taken birth as a human being, as a man, sometimes you have taken birth as a lady, okay? And sometimes becoming demigods, and sometimes human beings, and sometimes taking birth as an insignificant creature to enjoy the fruits of your karma. All 84 lakhs of species you have taken birth to enjoy the karma. But now is the chance to burn the karma by engaging devotional service, by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is an opportunity for you to burn. This is the opportunity for you to connect with Krishna so that you don't become again an ant and a human or a lady or a man. You just go back home, back to Godhead. So where is the strength which you are utilizing for non-Krishna conscious activities? Don't utilize your energy for non-Krishna conscious activities, and don't misuse the Krishna's energy, which has to be glorified, by which we have to only glorify Krishna, not that we gratify our senses by the energies of Krishna. Energies of Krishna has to be poured back. Because he is the bhokta, he is the actual enjoyer. We are not the enjoyers, we are the enjoyed. So when the standards of etiquette comes, we must see how much water I can use, how much light I can use, how much money I can use for my body, how much soap I have to use, how much paste I have to use, how much clean I have to keep. It is not that you ask Swadhin, give me 2 pastes, give me 4 soaps. One I will keep in the, in the cupboard, I will use one. There is nothing like hoarding in ashram. Ashram means bare minimum. Bare minimum. And I would like to remind you, since we are celebrating 125th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's birth anniversary, all of you must know, when Srila Prabhupada boarded the ship, how much luggage he was carrying. Anybody knows? One simple peti which he could carry himself at the age of 70. One simple peti which he could carry at the age of 70. When you have seen materialistic going from one place to another, how many bags they have? They have four bags. What is that? All for the body, all for the body, all for the neck, all for the body, all for the this. How many things for the body? How many things we want to enjoy in our life? This is the propensity of a materialistic. But sadhu means best is to have only 3-4 clothes in your life, and that's it. And be minimum using the energy of Krishna for yourself. But whatever energy you are having, you pour it back into Krishna consciousness. Then only we will be able to overcome all the impediments in our spiritual life. Otherwise, hey, this man is very chanchal. This man is going to haunt you. These indriyas are going to trouble you. The sleep is going to trouble you. This tongue is going to trouble you. This ear is going to trouble you. And so many things are going to trouble you. If you don't make them your friends, if you don't make them your friends, they are not going to let you go like this. So the process of complete Krishna consciousness is to see that you cultivate knowledge for taming this senses so that you are relieved from their venomous nature. Venomous nature. And execute devotional service for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Sometimes we see as a grihastha, we feel very aggrieved. मेरा क्या होगा, मेरे पत्नी का क्या होगा, मेरे बच्चों का क्या होगा. भूल गया वो वादा जिसने कृष्ण ने तुमको किया था. कौन्तेया प्रतिजानाति नामे भक्त प्ररशते. कैसे वैष्णव? If you are thinking about what is going to happen, you are not a Vaishnava. You are thinking that I will take money from the temple, you are not a Vaishnava. You are a simply worker. Vairagya Vidya, Nij Bhakti Yogam. Vairagya, develop Vairagya. And if you have not developed Vairagya, you are still some type of a worker. And worker must know how to develop his etiquette for the Sabhi ashrams. If you don't develop, that means you have not learned how you have become a Vaishnava. To become a Vaishnava is not an easy thing. To take the shelter of a Guru who is coming in parampara is not easy thing. Don't undermine this process of Vaishnavism, parampara. So, here we are hearing very, very wonderful anecdote where we see how इंद्र पद प्राप्त करने के बाद भी जीव को अगर एटिकेट नहीं आया तो जिंदगी बेकार. With the result, what happened? They lost. Devi Devatas lost. When you don't have any etiquette, Brahaspati left. So never lose your etiquette. Learn how to respect sannyasi. Learn how to respect the senior devotees. They are not your stooge. They are serving Guru and Krishna. While serving the Guru and Krishna, don't think that you can undermine their positions and situations in the life. When we have etiquette, then we'll be able to progress very nicely in spiritual life. It is said in the second, what is a true devotee? And one who has completely surrendered to his spiritual master without doing any business with a spiritual master. The moment you do a business with a spiritual master, the moment you do some business of some kind with the Lord's temple, you are in a very cumbersome situation, because every money which comes to the temple is begged. भीख मांगते मांगते ये पैसा लाया जाता है, और वो किसका होता है? कर्मी का होता है, जो अपने कर्म फल को आध्यात्मिक जीवन में देना चाहता है, मगर इस स्थिति में भी हमको अपने उनके कर्म फल को मनुष्यों में थोड़ा सा देना पड़ता है। तो उसके लिए हमको कितनी तपस्या करनी चाहिए? It is said, Janasya Krishna Vimukhasya Deva Adharmashilasya Suduhitasya Anugrahesha Charanati Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardana Seva. Oh my Lord, great philanthropic souls, they always travel. They travel, putting themselves in the most cumbersome situations. Look at Prabhupada, who at the age of 70 put himself in the most troublesome situation to do it for others, to make them Krishna conscious. Otherwise, America is a country which is full of opulences, but what was missing? The Vedic culture. They had skyscrapers, they had great opulence, they had great beauty, but they are all engulfed in eating meat, gambling, in illicit sex, drinking, and all that which is contrary to the spiritual advancement. In that situation, माया के केज में प्रभुपाद जी ने अपने को धकेला, क्योंकि उनके हृदय में, संतों के हृदय में, वैष्णवों के हृदय में, भक्तों के हृदय में दया का सागर उमड़ता है, जिस सागर के अंदर में वो जीवों को गोता कराना चाहते हैं। क्यों, कैसे? क्योंकि संत जो है कभी निजी जीवन के बारे में लोगों को जताते नहीं है। वो किसके बारे में जताते हैं? वो कृष्ण कथा जताते हैं, क्योंकि कृष्ण कथा से ही जीवों का उद्धार हो सकता है। इसी कृष्ण कथा को सुंदर तरीके से श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने पूरे विश्व भर में सुनाया, और जो बड़े भाग्यवान थे वो उनकी कथा में आकर्षित हो गए, और उन्होंने उनकी चरणारविंद में आश्रय ग्रहण कर लिया। और उस कृष्ण कथा को जिसने, उस कृष्ण सेवा को जिसने, और कृष्ण के सेवा में निबंधित होकर सीरियसली किए, वही आगे श्रील प्रभुपाद जी के सुंदर भक्त बन गए, सुंदर डिवोटी बन गए, जो कि आगे चल के इस मूवमेंट को आगे बढ़ाए। बहुत से लोग माया के चपेट में भस्म हो गए, चाहे वो सन्यासी था, चाहे वो भोगी था, चाहे वो ब्रह्मचारी था, चाहे वो गृहस्थी था, भोग विलास के अंदर भस्म हो गए। मगर जिन्होंने संपूर्ण रूप से अपने प्रभुपाद जी के इंस्ट्रक्शन को फॉलो किया, वो इस मूवमेंट को आगे ले चले। That is the beauty of a disciple. They were following Prabhupada 100%. We may be all here 100, 200 sitting in the temple hall. We are not 100% following. But those who will follow 100% Prabhupada, they will be glorious. Those who will follow 100% the spiritual master, they will be glorious. Even if they will be old, they will be still talking about Krishna Katha. Look at His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj at the 77 age also. He is very enthusiastically preaching Krishna consciousness, and that is the contribution of a great disciple who is following 100% his great spiritual master. My dear brothers, in the young age the lethargy will creep in. Comfort zones will attract you. But you have to rise on the occasion and utilize this young age in the service of Krishna. Then only you will be able to cut across the impediments which are generated from this young age. Otherwise, you will lose this young age and you will become old. Those who engage this young age very nicely in the service of Krishna and Guru, they are very blissful. They are prathus. You saw at the age of 76, he's delivering lectures every time. But if you become entrapped in your own shells, in your own self, then it's not possible. Because these devotees have given themselves 100%. ध्यान से सुनिए आप. प्रभु जी अपना यंग एज का दिखा रहे थे पिक्चर प्रभुपाद जी के साथ में, कैसे कीर्तन करते थे, कैसे वो करते थे, कैसे वो जप करते थे. Isn't it? And very few people, Prabhupada had 5,000 above disciples. But how many people have a memorial here? Correct? Those who are in the memorial, they have been doing exceptional service to Prabhupada. But we have not been able to make a memorial for all the 5,000 people. Yes or no? So there is a memorial for those people who know, right? This is this, this is this, this is this, this is this. Now you have to decide which category you want to be. Okay? So here, even the gopis are glorifying. The highest devotees are glorifying the devotees who are always absorbed in the thought of Krishna. What are these gopis saying? Very, very important shloka. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi bhidisam karma shapanam Shravana Mangala Buridajana Bhuvi Granantiye Buridajana. So gopis are glorifying those devotees. Who are those devotees? Who are getting glorified by the great devotees of Krishna? We have to understand. And if we will not understand these things, it will be very difficult for us to really execute proper mood of service. It is said, the nectar of your words and the description of your activities are like life and soul of those devotees who have given their life at the dust of your devotees. जो सदैव कृष्ण का गुणगान करते हैं, जो सदैव हे भगवान आपका गुणगान करते हैं, those narrations transmitted by the learned sages eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow great fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most beneficent. So how nice this spiritual life is. अगर आप सदैव भगवान की सुंदर गुणानुवर्धन का वर्णन करते रहेंगे, नाम रूप गुण लीला का वर्णन करते रहेंगे, वहां पर परम भक्त भी आपका ग्लोरिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं। If you dedicate this little life in glorifying Krishna, in serving Krishna, and chanting the holy name of the Lord, many people will get benefited by your association, like you got benefited by other Vaishnavas association, and that's how the legacy of Vaishnava Parampara goes on very, very nicely. And we will be able to eradicate our Bhava Rog by just simply these transcendental narrations of Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam. And we will learn how to be very humble, we'll learn how to become submissive, and that is the mood of inheriting the real treasure of Krishna consciousness when you accept humility and not offend other devotees while you are doing your devotional service. So, my dear brothers and sisters, our only objective is to see that we execute devotional service flawlessly and without expectations. If you are expecting some alms from the temple, okay, ठीक है, आपने थोड़ा सेवा किया, एक प्रसाद का प्लेट ले लिया, ठीक है। वो प्रभुपाद जी बोलते नहीं भाई, वो तो खाना ही चाहिए शरीर को चलाने के। मगर आप बोलेंगे कि मेरे को मंदिर से ही सब कुछ मिलना चाहिए, हाँ, पत्नी का भी जेवर मेरे को मंदिर से मिलना चाहिए, पत्नी का साड़ी भी मिलना चाहिए, हाँ, सब कुछ मेरे को यहाँ से मिलना चाहिए, तो ये सेवा हुआ नहीं भाई, ये सेवा नहीं हुआ। ये कंफर्ट जोन में आके इंद्रियों की सेवा कर रहे हैं, कुटुंब की सेवा कर रहे हैं। और रियल सेवा मीन्स अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्म विवर्जिता। अपने अभिलाषाओं को जीरो कीजिए और अपनी भगवत भक्ति में निपुण रहिए, तब जाके आध्यात्मिक जीवन के इन प्रसंगों में आपका ध्यान बड़े अच्छी तरह से जाएगा। श्रील प्रभुपाद जी कहते हैं, सिंस नारद मुनि was a brahmachari and was an exalted devotee, even Krishna showed him the respect. Can you imagine this? What is the qualification of these saffron lads? Even the Krishna is lovable to you all. Huh? But this Indra lost the etiquette even respecting his spiritual master. But Krishna, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he knows how to inculcate best of the etiquettes while he is in the Sabha of Vaishnavas. And even Krishna stood up when Narada came. जब वो जानते हैं कि कृष्ण नारद मेरा शिष्य है, मगर फिर भी नारद मेरा भक्त है, मगर उस भक्त के आने पर भी कृष्ण भगवान खड़े हो जाते हैं। So we have to also learn this. That is why we said early in the morning when you are meeting a Vaishnava, you offer your obeisances. Huh? How does it help you? How does it help? Tell me. Bataiye. Hriday Madhav Prabhu, how does it help one when he is offering his obeisances? जब हम दंडवत प्रणाम करते हैं तो हमारे जीवन में क्या होता है? So what is when we call about Dandavat, our mastak is on the ground, our this is on the ground, when our knees are on the ground, what does it reflect? It reflects the humility, it reflects the surrender, and also greatest knowledge that उनके अंदर भगवान का वास है। इसका नॉलेज ही ज्ञान का प्रतीक है। इसका नॉलेज ही ज्ञान का प्रतीक है, और जब हम इसको एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं तो वास्तविकता में असली नॉलेज का रिफ्लेक्शन स्टार्ट हो जाता है। जब तक ये नहीं आता है तब तक इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल दैट यू कैन अट्रैक्ट कृष्ण। अगर वैष्णव का ही हृदय आपने जीता नहीं तो आप कृष्ण को कैसे जानोगे भाई? How you are going to know Krishna if you are not going to win the Vaishnava? If you have no consciousness of executing devotional service, सिर्फ पैसा 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 थोड़ी चलता है भाई, सेवा भी करना पड़ता है। इसलिए प्रभुपाद जी यहां पर बताते हैं, a human civilization is advanced when the people follow the Chaturvarna system. Chaturvarna system means चार वर्ण है, चार आश्रम है, and everybody should be knowing what is his constitutional position. Vaishnava is the greatest. Brahmana is the second best. Vaishya is the third best. Kshatriya is the third best. Vaishya is the fourth best. And then who is not falling into all four classes, he is the fifth one. So many devotees have got Brahman Diksha recently. They have to execute devotional service very, very intelligently and nicely so that you can progress path of spiritual life. You must know when you are going into the DT department, you don't offend anybody. When you know that you are eating the prasadam, when you are eating prasadam together, you should not offend anybody. Huh? You must know what is a Vaishnava Seva. We may be getting a Vaishnava Seva from a Karmi, but are we knowing what is Vaishnava Seva? Huh? We may get a 15,000 rupees donation for today's, sponsored by one Mr. Agarwal. But while he is sponsoring the prasadam, if we don't know how to eat prasadam, how to serve prasadam, how to sit with the Vaishnava, how can he get a complete benefit who has sponsored your meal? वैष्णव को खिला रहे, वो कुत्तों को नहीं खिला रहे भाई. He's not feeding the dogs. He's feeding Vaishnavas. And Vaishnava means the greatest. भगवान की उपासना करने वाला. मगर अगर उसी में अगर हमारे में एटिकेट का उल्लंघन हो जाए तो हमारा जीवन धिक्कार के लायक है. That is why we have to learn all these things, how to execute devotional service very, very seriously. And from this prasanga, we learn that if we offend, we are going to lose. Huh? But we see that Indra is coming to the senses. Huh? Indra is coming to senses. Huh? He realizes instantly what a catastrophe he has invited. कि मेरे गुरु इस स्थान में आए और मैं उठ खड़ा नहीं हुआ. धिक्कार है ऐसे ओपलेंस का, धिक्कार है ऐसे नॉलेज का, धिक्कार है ऐसे जीवन का, जो वैष्णव बनते बनते अपने इन नियमों का उल्लंघन करते हैं. ऐसे लोगों को टॉयलेट साफ करना चाहिए 6 महीना विलिंगली. जिस तरीके से इंद्र भगवान ये रियलाइज कर रहे हैं कि मैंने क्या गलती किया, इसी तरीके से ऐसे ही अगर कोई वैष्णव यहां पर भी उल्लंघन करता है, उसको अपने सेवा से अलग करके वैष्णवों का टॉयलेट साफ करना चाहिए. तब जाके उनके जीवन में सुधार आ सकता है. Never lose your etiquette at any time. That is what is demanded out of yours who are trying to progress on the path of spiritual life. Never transgress the etiquettes. In the love and devotional service, anything is possible. But don't lose your composure while dealing with the Vaishnavas, while taking care of devotional service. Don't lose that. So this is my only humble request to you, that from this prasanga, we can understand that even if you become a big Indra also, you must understand that you cannot have etiquettes without etiquette life. So completely learn the Vaishnava behavior. Vaishnava behavior is flawless. Vaishnava behavior is very nice, and please inherit these wonderful qualities in yourself and progress very nicely on the path of spiritual life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any questions, any comments? You are most welcome to ask. No questions? No comments? Any comments? Any additions?
As we go down, by the mercy of the Parampara and Krishna, it is Vigna Vinashka. There is no Vigna will be adhering.
Yeah.
After that, there is Suradas or auspicious.
Come, yes. Because this body, this lump of meat is full of anarthas. And when we do our obeisances, we offer to the Vaishnavas, the Lord and Prabhupada. So automatically, slowly, the purification happens. And this is a process of purification. You see, any act within the gambit of Krishna consciousness is purification. And that's how we progress very, very nicely in spiritual life. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shishi Radha Madan Mohan Bhagavan ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar Bhagavan ki jai, Gaur Premanandi.
Prabhupada ke